In this video, we will learn how to set up a data flow to Looker Studio as a destination if you don't want to use our templates. So first, we'll go to the data flow section and then click on Create a Data Flow. We'll set it up from scratch for this particular example. And keeping things simple here, I'll just plug in LinkedIn ads, go through the setup flow, plug in my ad account. Let's say that I'm happy with the reporting period and then metrics and dimensions. Maybe I want to also include conversion value. Dimension campaign is good. Please note that this video is going to focus just on the setup process. It's not going to cover some cool things that you can do in terms of blending different sources before you send it to any destination, including Looker Studio. We will have separate videos for those topics. So let's move forward. We can always go to transformations and preview the data. And like I said, we're keeping things simple here. So let's say I'm happy with this result. We'll go to destinations and click on Looker Studio. If you already watched the Looker Studio template tutorial, this will be familiar. The first step is to generate a data source. Let's not forget to give it a good name. When you do this for the first time, you'll have a one-time authorization procedure to authorize Looker Studio and couplerio. We will link the video on what that process looks like in the comment section with a proper timestamp so you can take a look. Once done, you'll have the data flow connected automatically. So change nothing here and simply click connect. As soon as the execution happens, we can also click continue here. Just kind of click through this. In the flow settings, you will be able to see that it already ran because we're not grabbing much data here. And then on the Looker Studio side, I will also be able to see that I received all of the columns for my transformations in here, and I can click on Create Report to then start working with my data. Now that I have this blank canvas to start working with, let's do something first. So I will copy the link of this Looker Studio report in progress, and then I can go back to the data flow on the destinations level. If I go back into the settings, first thing with the advanced settings, I will want to link this report URL so that every time you open it from Coupler, it will take you to that report that you're building as opposed to creating a completely new data source from scratch. Another thing that I want to mention here is that when you do this without the template flow, you want to make sure that the date range dimension is selected. We would recommend doing something like report date, but this depends on the data set that you're working with and how you want to filter this data by. This is important to select in order for the Looker Studio date range filter to work, and it's going to work based on the date column that you specify here. At this point, we might want to double check on the schedule and enable it. So let's say I want to update this specific data source into Looker Studio every single day, and Coupler will take care of the rest. That's it for this tutorial. The biggest thing to keep in mind, it would be the destination steps once you generate the data source in terms of the date range dimension and the advanced settings where you link the report itself. And then in the next videos, we will showcase a bit more on the different transformations you can do in terms of data blending, aggregation, and some other cool things you can do when working with Looker Studio. Stay tuned.